Step 1. Get your system that you want to gut. Get your shell that you ordered or obtained. Get your magnetized screwdriver. Get a place to put your screws. Alright, step 2. Rudimentary directions are going to be on the back of the box normally. There are 4 screws on the back. There's one right here, one right there, one right here, and one under the modem. So go ahead and take that out. Screw. So there's going to be a total of 4. Remove them. Step 3, carefully remove the top lid. Preferably with 2 hands. Step 4, we're taking the power supply and removing the screws right here, right behind here, this piece. We're taking this little piece right here, we're going to take that off, and we're going to unscrew these 2 pieces right there, those 2 nails. Now you're going to unclip this piece right here. Okay. Loosen that. And there's this little clip right here, as you can see, right here, where my finger is. You can see it a little bit easier if I point with the thing. You just kind of pull it. Gotta be easy with it. See, I got it loose, see? See where it's raised? Now, it's going to be sticking right here, as you can see, right here. These little pins, they're stuck in there like that. Gotta gently raise it. Pops right out. And the whole thing should come out at this point. I think I might have left one of the screws in there. I don't want this to be a long video. I want it to be very short and to the point. Save this screw here. So yeah, got that out. Step 5, we are going for the power supply. No, we already went for that. We're going for the controller port. We're going to take this little protective piece, put it to the side. That goes with the power supply. This whole thing goes with that. So keep those together. And we're going to unscrew the fan. We're going to take the screws off right here. Here, and then there should be 4 screws right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, cool. We're recording. I'm taking those out just so you can see that things are in frame here. Yeah, so if you need to fast forward just a little bit, I'm just showing this to keep the new people, their attentions on this. I think that it really does you a disservice to have these videos where it's just fast forwarded because sometimes you miss critical things. So I'm just working as hard as I can here, as fast as I can. Yeah, there is a controller ribbon, as you can see, that is right here. A controller port ribbon is what I mean. I noticed by rewatching these videos, I say a lot of grammatical things. Like in my last video, I said that the Rumble Pack was a memory card. You pretty much know what I mean when I'm talking because the things are in context, but this piece right here, be very gentle. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but you got to be very gentle when you're pulling it out. I like to keep things symmetrical, so that's why I think you're supposed to take that out first. But, you know, here we are. I took the screws out of the fan. So the fan's loose. Not trying to make this long at all, you guys. I know why that's not coming out, because that plastic piece is holding it. It's a little bit frustrating because, oh, you got to release it from the, yeah, there you go. the little plastic lip is holding it. So I got the screws out. I got the screws out, called screws nails earlier. Okay, so you just got to be very gentle with how you take it out. See, I wasn't trying to pull to the side. I was trying to pull straight. So I got the screws out of here, and these right here, you can take the screws out by just doing that number, I guess. Step 6, we are obviously going for the gd-rom unit. I think it goes without saying, you do not touch that lens. These things are faulty. You have to swap them out. It's cheaper to get a new Dreamcast. And as you can see here, I got my Don't Ever Give Up framed artwork here. It is classic and very apt for what we're doing. Forgot to take the burnt game out, and I'm keeping things classified. I got the modem right here, controller port right there, the fan, and keeping the power supply and the power supply cord and switch, keeping those together. We're taking that gd-rom out. So as you can see, there are screws. There is one here, one there, and I believe that might, yeah, there's one right there. There's only 3 for the gd-rom unit, so. Okay. This ain't my first rodeo. Might not be my last either. Knock on wood. Just pull upwards. See how that goes in? See that piece? Goes in right there. That's why you pull up. You don't pull to the side or try to wedge it. Put that to the side. Step 7, the only thing left for gutting is the motherboard. And I'm keeping the ribbon cable in there just because I don't want to dislodge it or make things more complicated than it needs to be. As you can see, there are screws, way more than the other ones because this one is just kind of attached to the lower shell. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe 7. Yes, and 8. I think it's 8 all together. None up front, but you don't need them. So it's like 8 or 9 or whatever. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. So yeah, just to save time, I went ahead and loosened the screws. There, I counted them. There are 8. There's 1, 2 right here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I went ahead and loosened them. So I'm just going to put my hand right here to keep the motherboard in place and try to just, not recommended. You could lose screws that way. But, you know, hey, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got them all. 5, 6, 7, 8. You might need to classify the screws because, as you can see, I've already mixed them and they are of different colors. I thought they were all the same. There are 2 different sizes with the small fan one. There are 2 very small ones in there that I noticed for the fan. So I got the motherboard already out of place. So go ahead and take the controller port. Well, actually, you need to release it. Now, one thing that's noticeable is that these pieces right here, they're kind of wedged in there. So you kind of have to like slide it in there. Now it's, let me go ahead and try to zoom back out here. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just kind of try to wedge the whole metal plate. And I hope you can see. And okay, you see how I got it at an angle here? See that? Now this is kind of important. You got to slide it out. Because you see how that kind of fits in there like that? Pop, you know, not pop it, but, you know, just kind of coax it out. Sometimes you got to take the top plate off first, which is very kind of annoying, just because of the nature of how this could really frustrate you if you just haven't done this before, and you can be kind of discouraged at this step. Kind of the last step that you need to do. It's kind of tricky to put in there. looks like it's already been kind of bent right there. But this is the motherboard. You can tell by looking at the insides of it. I don't really think that's noteworthy for this video to really show you. I would recommend, if this is your first time doing this, to just kind of keep things sandwiched and wedged the way that it's supposed to be. Leave that ribbon like that. All right, step 8. It is time to reverse engineer things. Just do everything that you just did, just in an opposite way. So we're going to take that top casing off of this. Going to go ahead and do that while I'm talking about it. With one hand. This is classic. All right, so take that top case off here. Just put it right there for now. And we're going to just slide this jam into this jam. And let's do it. All right, cool deal. So we're just going to factor in this part right here. That's going to factor in somehow. I keep forgetting how that goes, but we're going to just kind of, like I said, just kind of wedge it in there. Just make sure that you get those two black parts right here, this black part and this black part. And it's the serial port and the, it says AVN. Yeah, that's what it is. It says right on there what it is. But yeah, you just kind of, as long as you got those two pieces in like that, just like that, the rest is easy. You just kind of fall it into place. It's it is a little bit tricky, and sometimes you gotta. It feels like you're shaving the sides of the thing. Yeah. You just kind of have to gently coax it in there. It kind of fell in flush, and I got lucky. And this piece right here is the controller port piece. And I think that it just goes in just normal like that. It goes under the jam. Yeah, I hope that's correct. Let's see. I hope it's not popping out or anything weird. Let's see. I think that everything is positioned correctly, I suppose. Let's hope so. I'm just going to take a closer look at this and do this by myself here for a second. Okay, yeah, it didn't seem right, but I had to push down on it very gently, just as long as you could see that there, there's definite room for the controller port right there. It was kind of like raised up. It kind of popped down. You kind of have to just put a little bit of pressure. Let me, hold on. Yeah, you have to put a little bit of pressure on the thing and just make sure it's flush on the bottom and that all the screw points are visible, so you can see, yeah, everything looks pretty lined up, pretty good. And we're ready to put in, I suppose, the gd-rom. Yeah. All right, guys. I forgot to mention to put these screws back into the motherboard before you put the gd-rom back on. So, yeah, there were some longer regular color screws. There's some black screws that are pretty much all the same size, but I went with the shorter looking ones to put in right there and right there. Because I didn't want the screws to show up through the plastic. So, I hope I'm not doing this a disservice. I hope I'm not doing you a disservice by showing you, which I recommend keeping the screws with the components. So keep the assigned screws with the components when you're doing this by yourself. Let's put that gd-rom in. All right, step 9. We are taking the gd-rom unit and very carefully placing it, looking at the camera and making sure I'm staying in frame. You take this and you just kind of line it up. Make sure you gently press down on it. It'll feel right when you'll know. Plop, plop, right there. Take the screws. I believe they are black screws. I'm just going to make sure I do that correctly. I'm going to look at the video. I'm going to use that as reference. Right on. So the 3 screws that I put in, one right there, and one right over, right here. I didn't go for the super long screws. I went for the kind of medium length screws, and I hope I'm not mismatching the screws too much. I don't want to mess up the plastic, but yet again, I just want to say, yeah, just keep your screws with the assigned components. Step 10, we are putting the power supply, and actually it needs to be the controller port, I guess. Yeah, because the power supply is going to be the last step. We're putting the power supply back in. All right, this slides in. Just going to pop it through the yeah, it just kind of fits right down in there. You're gonna take the power ribbon and make sure I'm in frame. Yeah, take this ribbon, you just very gently put it back into place. You have to use a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Okay, so I believe it was black screws, but the for any of this stuff you can use air duster and just kind of spray the thing out. I probably should have cleaned stuff, but you know, whatever. This makes a lot of sense if you just kind of put it in there. And yeah, I'm gonna look at the videos again. I believe they were black screws. It might be the silver. No, they were the silver ones. So we're gonna screw those 4 back in, and then these 2. I remember these were the 2 small ones. So alrighty. So the screws that I found some like medium-sized screws, and I put them where they're supposed to be, and the 2 very small silver screws I put on both sides of this fan. And I think that my screw situation is good because I got 4 of the big ones, and I think that they go in for the lid, and got 4 kind of long black ones, so I think that they go with the other components. So I think everything's going to be okay. Step 11. We are going to take this power supply with the, you know, that cord and the trigger or whatever. We're going to put it right down in there. Okay, let's keep things in frame here. This little sink jamb, you're going to put this in there. There's a little hole right here, and you can just line it right on up. It's going to be okay. Yeah, kind of idiot-proof a little bit. I think that you put the ribbon in before you do that, actually. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, it's already kind of like, the ribbon is already kind of set in place. You can kind of see how it's supposed to go. You can take 2 screws and put it in there like that. Put in this this piece. Okay. And we're just going to kind of wedge everything. This black piece right here, you're going to make sure it lines up. Kind of fits right on in where it's supposed to. There's a little crevice or whatever, you can tell how it's supposed to be. Never force anything, always be gentle. Okay. And remember those pieces right here? Just kind of push down. Remember that little clip right there. Clips right on in. I'm going to put these screws in. There's 2 right here. 1 right here, 1 right here, and then 2 right here. That'll be our black screws, and everything's going to be okay. This piece right here, you put in. Let's see. I'm going to undo this just to kind of position. I think that the cord goes a little bit in front of... Okay. Should be okay. Put the screws in. Okay, so I put in screws, but I'm not putting them in all the way. I think I did mismatch the screws, unfortunately, but I think that with the way that the things are kind of clipped in and positioned, with the lid on and everything, nothing's going to happen. But I just have it very kind of loosely put in there. I don't want to ruin the plastic too much. If there's any problem at all that's going to arise, it's going to be because of the switch being kind of wiggly. I think it's going to be fine though. Step 12, let's plop this lid on. Thing's sliding. Right on. Something seems a little bit off. I think maybe once you screw everything in, everything will be okay. gd-rom looks like it's lined up pretty good. Something seems kind of squishy though. Maybe it's the controller port not being lined up completely. Maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. But let's see here. Okay, so basically, let me turn this down. I'm playtesting. This is a burnt copy of Virtua Tennis. Here, let's turn that volume down. So I got a a version of Virtua Tennis that's burnt, and it's playing so far. I have not put the modem piece in yet, but the screws on the bottom side, yeah. I don't know. I still got to put the logo on. I'll go through that, and yeah, I'll tell you more here in a second. Okay, I'm not sure if we're doing steps still, but yeah, I'll go over a step. Unfortunately, I did not put in this screw good enough, and it's stripped. So I'm glad it works. As you can tell, it's a little bit squishy, going up and down, but that's the only corner that's doing that, because I got a little bit better right here. Right here, got the screw down real good, and I got the screw down real good on this end too. So altogether, it's like staying wedged and good and stuff. But yeah, let's put this modem piece on and go through that. Step 13. We're taking this modem. We're going to remove the screws right here, and very gently remove. Same method to the madness as the taking the motherboard out. You gotta slide it out very particularly. It can be very frustrating, and you can lose your patience. But we're gonna we're gonna take deep breaths and get through this. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the two screws, and we're going to just gently pop this thing out, and you can kind of get it out to the side like that, and then you gotta kind of have to push out the black piece. And it can be very frustrating, like I said, because this piece just doesn't make sense. Sometimes you got to take out the plates. Yeah, because it kind of slides. This thing goes up and down. See, it's weird. It goes up and down. So, yeah, and then you just kind of reverse engineer, like I say, and stick this piece in there. You might have to take the back plate, kind of dislodge it and kind of put it in. Weird. So fun. This stuff is so fun. Looks like it's kind of lined up. It's like I almost have it. There you go. Kind of popped. Weird. There's probably better ways to do it. I'm going to put the two screws in real quick. Right on. I got the screws put in, so that's the modem faceplate or whatever. Put it in there. Just slide it on in. You know how it goes. Plop it right on in. Overall, looks pretty good, right? But we're not done. Step 14. All right, get yourself a hair dryer. I got a hair dryer. This is a very professional grade hair dryer. I got this back when I was working at a movie rental store back in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. I used to work at one of the top chains. Not like, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna tell you which one. But back when brick and mortar video stores were awesome, I was there. And what's strange is that my uniform for that job is the same uniform that I have for my current job, pretty much. But yeah, turn it on, keep it on a low setting, go in a circular fashion. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. I have it set on low. Let's put it on medium. Get a sharp a razor. Oh, I didn't do the best job. Okay, looks a little bit better now. Trying to flatten it with my hand a little bit. You gotta be real easy with this stuff. You wouldn't be able to tell if I didn't say nothing, but still, kind of crappy. Kind of crappy. Yeah. Yeah. Not the best job. Not the best job. It's been a while. Well. It's still okay. It's okay. It doesn't look the worst, does it? Anyway. Well, that's my that's my Dreamcast with this shoddy looking label. Well, it's on there. Can't say it's not. It's probably better to just be a little bit more conscientious about it. Yeah, screw it. It's gonna be okay. Step 15. Take your old shell and put it in the box. Now keep it for collecting reasons. Alright, so I still got some good lighting in here. And I've seen worse, actually. You could, from a distance you can't tell, but the like up close, it's kind of warped looking. And just with the heating, the blow dryer, just keep it on a low setting and be more patient, and probably don't record it. Just, you know, you gotta be real gentle, like real patient and real gentle with it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I need to become more of an under the hood type person. I'm just glad that the actual shell itself didn't become like heat exposure. You really can't. It looks good. It still looks really good. You know, hey, function over fashion, even though I'm kind of a fashion guy. Like when it comes to aesthetics, I really like the way things look. And overall, you know, hey, it works. It plays burnt games. I got Virtua Tennis in there. So, yeah, I think it looks really good. It's red. Kind of comes off as kind of pink, but it's still really good. It's kind of like a mellow, subdued color. So I thought that I would upload a comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to do this. It might become just a totally long video. But as always, thank you for watching. And like, you guys could do a way better job with the logo and keeping up with the screws. That's my other tip. Don't keep your screws with everything else, because you don't want to have like floaty. Like, yeah, you could tell I could have done a better job here on this corner. Other corners seem pretty good, but you know, nobody's gonna notice or care. You know, but as always, thank you for watching, you guys, and yeah. Hey guys, yeah. So I looked through my pile of, hold on, I got a phone call. Yeah, I might leave that in. That was hilarious. I just got a call and it was like, you can have a free trip to Orlando. Anyway, that's beside the point. Those are so questionable, those calls. Anyway, I'm trying good old, Virtua Tennis burnt copy on this nice looking, pristine looking white Chinese Model 1 Dreamcast. I checked the bottom. And it seems to be working pretty good. I was playtesting it. Yeah, and I wanted to show a little bit of game footage. So, yeah, Model 1 Dreamcasts, they're kind of the middle of the road when it comes to playing burnt games. It's not really middle of the road. Model Zeros can play them, and Model Zeros are, they're coveted because like this Rev Zero, or I forgot what Rev stands for. I'm the guy on the top. I'm from France. I was playing PSO with this guy named, I forgot his name, but well, actually I know his name. I just don't want to give it out. But he's from France and he's pretty cool. And I kind of like Canadians, and they kind of have like French stuff or like connections with France. And I don't really hate France. I think my older generations hate France because of World War I or II or whatever. But anyway, that's beside the point. But when it comes to versions, there's Model Zeros, 1s, and 2s. 2s don't play burnt games because they were trying to restrict the piracy and whatnot. And basically, yeah, I'm just play testing this to make sure that it plays burnt games pretty good. It seems like this is going to be a promising system to gut out and put in with my red shell, so I'm going to have a comprehensive video about that. Why am I showing this? I might show this after the video because I think that, yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to show this after the fact. Because I want this video to be as comprehensive as possible, and this could be just saved till the end. That's how I'm going to go about it. But yeah, this one seems to be working pretty good, so let's get down to it.